not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Make sure you hit the description below because you're going to find some excellent content creators. And you're also going to find four links to four separate brokerages. Of the four, I always forget the name of this one brokerage. I don't know what my deal is with this one brokerage, but for some reason, I always forget the name. Let's see if I can find the name. Let me see. Let me just see if I can find the name. Yeah, I can't find the name for some reason. That particular brokerage escapes me all the time, but it is the easiest to open up an account with and work with because it's pretty much set it and forget it. That's pretty much what it is. I'm still trying to find the name. I'm looking for different things that would trigger off my memory and hopefully have that for you. I want to have that for you. Acorns. Acorns is the simplest one of all four. Simplest. You open up the account, and by the way, this is not financial advice, but you open up an account, not investing advice either. And you provide them with the information that they ask for, link your bank account to the Acorns account, and you could set it up so that you can deposit money manually, or something that I highly recommend is that you have automated transfers from your bank to the brokerage. That way it's a done deal. It's going to happen automatically. There's no guessing involved. There's no excuses, or it doesn't give you time to come up with an excuse to tap into some money that is going to help you financially for your future. So, can you even hear me? I don't even know if you can hear me. Let me check and see if you can hear me and how well you can hear me. Here. Let's go here. Okay. Let's go here. Let me just see if you can hear me. Let me just see if you can hear me. I sound pretty low. Let me just see if you can hear me. I sound pretty low. Let me just see if you can hear me. Oh my God, a lot of background noise too. I apologize for the quality of the audio. Yeah, I apologize for that. However, this is what I have to use. AJ, I always present him. Well, he was my first, and I always present him. Hey, Sophia, how's it going? Well, my daughter's name is Sophia, so your name will be easy to remember. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Those are important things. helps expose the channel to people who may never be able to. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm driving drunk again, yes. Yeah, Ray, I'm driving drunk. I hope that the audio quality is enough for you to be able to at least understand what I'm saying. At least. Yeah, do me a favor, report me. Hey, elevated. I'm sorry, it's going to be a little difficult for me to be able to read this right now. My apologies. But by all means, if you want to communicate amongst each other, that's pretty cool. Dialogue amongst everybody. So AJ has been doing very well with his portfolio. Remember when I first started showing his account, he was depositing $35 a week. He got a raise. We had a conversation, and he was convinced not to increase his expenses just because he started making more money. Instead, what he did was he increased his deposit into his brokerage account from $35 a week to $50 a week. I'll send it to you soon, Ray. Wait for it, all right? And I don't remember what the amount was when he was at $35 a week. I think he was at maybe $3,000. Well, now he's close to $7,000, and that wasn't that long ago. And not only is he reinvesting his dividends, not only that, but he has now decided to utilize options as a way of increasing the amount that the amount that his portfolio is valued at, and he's done very well. Very well. The last time he showed me his account, he had 7 open options trades. And amongst the 7 open options trades, 1 was a loss. And it was a minimal loss. Because that was one of the things that I taught him regarding options and how to approach it. You approach options from a different angle. It's not the wins. It's minimizing losses. That's how you make it. Not the wins. It's minimizing losses throughout the course of time. That's what makes options traders successful. You will suffer losses. Don't even think for 1 second that you won't. Anyone who engages in am I down? Be my man, SLU. I don't know what SLU means. But if you want me to be your man, hey, I'll be your man. And even with all the chaos that's occurring, all the crazy things that you're hearing in the news, stuff about the economy, stuff about affordability, the people who are involved in the stock markets are the winners. regardless of what 90% of the population is suffering, the 10% that owns 90% of the stock are winning. And that's something I noticed since I was in my teens. Every time something was happening in the economy, whether it be high unemployment, whatever, for the wealthy that engage with the stock market, they always win. Always win. As a result of that, I made it my business to get involved in the stock market. Yeah, that's right. Let them know I'm your dad. Let them know. Hey. Lily, is that you? It's hard for me to see. I'm sorry. Everything's bouncing around. Plus my glasses are all smudged. But yeah. What the heck? This thing just skipped? I'm in a mountainous area in Virginia. So on occasion I might lose the signal. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, or at least understand what I'm saying, because I know there's a lot of background noise with all the noise going on in the truck. Thank you for letting me know. Elevator, man, that was a highly entertaining live you had last night. Highly entertaining. And the conversation had to do with a world that I don't even know what to tell the youth. I don't. That is so difficult. Relationships are extremely hard, but it's known that there are two things that will destroy a relationship. One is communications, and the other is money. If you're not on the same page with money, it's a done deal. My oldest son's mother is not doing well at all. She's a total impulse buyer. Communications, Lily? Well, yeah, I mean, listen, that's another problem. That's another very serious problem. In fact, I know of plenty of situations where the breakdown of communications led to financial loss. Total financial loss. If you're not on the same page financially, the communications will magnify the loss. Magnify it. Crazy. I've had situations where family members are trying to give me advice. Of course, pocket watching, because we all have family members who pocket watch. And they got it all figured out. Some of them are professionals, not professional money managers. Some of them are doctors, lawyers, engineers, so they figure they think they got it figured out. You don't. Not when it comes to money. But they definitely want to advise you, because of course they have the degree. They have that title, MD or whatever. They got the title, so they got. Listen, let me tell you something. When I worked as a broker, now check this out. What the heck? This thing got me going in some other direction. All those professionals that I mentioned, they were all within 2 weeks to a month from losing their house and being homeless because of how they manage their finances. I told this other trucker that, he lost his mind. He couldn't believe it. Called me a liar. He just lost his mind, but that's the truth. You see what happens with these professionals is that as their pay increases, so does their spending. And they're spending it on things just to prove to everybody else that they made it. They're not going to buy a bucket. God forbid. Or a decent used car. God forbid. No. They got to represent. They got to spend that money on that Jaguar, that BMW, that Mercedes, that Maserati. So you buy any of those vehicles that I just mentioned, your insurance is going to be so much higher. And depending on what state you live in, like the state I live in, you have to pay taxes every year on your vehicle. And if you own one of those and it's less than 10 years old, you're paying luxury taxes. Yeah, you're paying $1,000 a year, maybe even more. I don't remember how much it was. I buy buckets. Buckets are all I get. I run them to the ground and get another bucket. I keep advising people, when your money starts getting big, dress down, buy a bucket. Otherwise, you're gonna be just like those professionals that I just mentioned, just like them. What that is, broke people showing other broke people that they're not broke. Exactly. And you know what? Those professionals aren't broke. They got an income. Like my brother and his wife, they have a income of like $500,000 to $700,000 a year. They're both doctors. My brother is a surgeon. But if you look at the things that they spend their money on, of course they're going to be 2 weeks to a month away from being homeless. Of course. You think Warren Buffett buys a brand new car? He doesn't. In fact, there was an article where they interviewed one of his daughters, and she mentioned that he changes his car when his daughter's fed up with the condition of his car. When his daughter's fed up. And then he doesn't buy a new car. He buys a used car. Why would somebody worth hundreds of billions of dollars buy a used car? He still lives in the same house he bought way back in the day. Yes. Yes. That's right, Elevated. I think his house cost, I'm trying to remember, because he bought it in the 50s. I think his house was worth like $58,000 or something like that. And there are billionaires, you can look them up. They do not spend money like that. They don't. Yeah, it's nothing fancy. It's nothing fancy. But why doesn't he buy himself a brand new Lamborghini or something like that? Does anybody, well, maybe they don't even know that Warren Buffett buys used cars. But once you discover that, do you ask yourself, why does he do that? With all the money that he has, why does he do that? Because of his mindset. He's got a different mindset. A lot of these billionaires have a different mindset. The wealthy have a different mindset. Most people have no idea what this mindset is because you don't engage with them. Not at that level. See, the way wealthy people work, and I'm saying this because I've been in the presence of wealthy people. They make assessments of people around them. You want to know where your head is at. It's not worth it to be the what? That's how they stay rich. It's not worth it to buy new. Well, it's not worth it to buy new because it's a business transaction to them. If you think about investing in a car, for example, or let's say you're not investing in a car. Let's say somebody comes along, a salesman or a saleswoman, and tells you, hey, listen, we got this thing here. We got this thing here. That's an incredible investment. Okay, the word incredible is subjective. Your definition of incredible is going to be different from everybody else's, but it still sounds great. This is an incredible investment. Okay? Okay. How much do I need to get into this incredible investment? Well, let's see. $60,000 to get in. $60,000. And you're saying this is an incredible investment? Incredible starts painting pictures in your mind of what you think incredible is. Incredible. 60,000? Who knows? That 60,000 might become $1 million in a year. $1 million in a year. Woo! I can work with that. I'm pretty sure anybody who's middle class or working class can work with that. Going from 60 to $1 million in a year? I mean, that's what you're imagining. Which is great. Go ahead. So you give him the 60,000. And he hands you over a document. What's this, you ask? This is proof that you're invested in this. Oh, okay. That's cool. And then you see a number on that document. And there's a $sign in front of these numbers. And you say, wait a minute. Hey, Yolanda. And you say to that salesperson, wait a minute. How come it says 40,000? Oh yeah. That's what the investment is worth now. What? Yeah. The minute your hands touch that document, the value went down to $40,000. What? Oh, it was incredible, all right. It was incredible. Hi, Rockin'. It was incredible. You lost 30% of your money in a second. Does that sound like a good investment? Well, that's exactly what happens with cars. I know. I saw. I sent something, but I don't remember which social media I sent it to. By the way, I tried getting back on your list, and the new address that you put up there, it wouldn't let me send it again. So if you can fix that, I'll take care of it. Now, that sounds crazy, but that's how it is with cars. The minute you turn that brand new car on and those tires rotate one time, you've lost an incredible amount of value in a second. In a second, you lost an incredible amount of money. So, from the perspective of an experienced investor, of course that's not going to make any sense. Buying a brand new car, that makes no sense whatsoever. For the amount of value that you lose so quickly, and you don't recover that loss. So of course not. Of course they're not going to buy a brand new car. But the average person, just like what Elevated Chill said, broke people trying to show broke people that they're not broke. It's a different mindset. And don't even get me started with real estate, because so many people are following content creators about how to do real estate, and they have no idea that they're triggering off tax events that they didn't even expect. No idea. How do I know? I used to own property, and I dealt with tax attorneys. I still do. I deal with tax attorneys. I don't deal with courses and content, none of that. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of information where people think that they're going to be brilliant minded and do what the wealthy do. First of all, if you don't have the money that the wealthy have, you're not going to be able to take advantage of things that the wealthy take advantage of. Sorry to say. That's a reality. All these fancy little corporate structures that people convince you to get involved in, it's not going to work unless you got the money to make it work. Building a trust, a foundation, and all that good stuff. No, you gotta have money for it. To reap the benefits, yeah. And another thing, two hurdles. One is reaching $100,000. You reach $100,000, especially in your investment account, you reach $100,000, man, listen. That's when you really start seeing the benefits of what's this concept I forget about? Compound interest. That's where you really see the benefits of compounding. When you hit 100,000, and when you hit 1,000,000, when you hit 1,000,000 and you forgot what I told you to do, which is dress down and drive a bucket, you will discover that you have the most tremendous bullseye on your back. However, there are some doors that will give you access to funds that you would have never gotten. Once you hit that 1,000,000, it's a wrap. You'll have access to funding you never would have thunk you could have gotten. Oh yeah. And you keep that 1,000,000 in your portfolio, grinding. If you hit $100,000 and you're impressed with the compounding you're getting from 100,000, when you reach 1,000,000, when you reach 1,000,000 and you still have a job, you're not worried about being yelled at. Now, if you're a person with work ethic, you're going to continue to do your job. You're going to continue to doing your job. However, as it usually occurs in the work environment, you'll always have some bootlicker who's jealous of you. You'll have some lower level manager that feels like they need to pick on you or something. And because you got that 1,000,000 generating for you, like I was saying, when you got that 1,000,000 in your brokerage account That's compounding for you. You're not afraid of being fired. No, you're not. And sure, the bootlicker would try to jam you up. Because he doesn't understand. How is it that this one manager comes down on you as hard as they do, and you act like it's nothing? What the heck? What is going on here? Yes, it is powerful. It's extremely powerful. Elevated. Like I said, if you're the type of person that has work ethic and working and you can work, I mean, you're not going to be a suck up, but you do your job. You do your job, you're on time, you leave when you're supposed to. You're not in love with the job, but you keep a job because that's part of what you are. Yeah, you got $1 million compounding in a brokerage account. So one of my students, I showed his portfolio. In 11 months, his portfolio generated, and that's only one of his portfolios. He's got like 3 or 4. His portfolio generated cash generated $48,000 cash in 11 months. So stop and think. How many people have a job where they make $48,000 in a year? Right? $48,000 in a year. For most people, that's not a bad job. For most people. Oh man, can't answer that right now. Right. Most people don't even make that. One of this guy's accounts, one of this guy's brokerage accounts generated the $48,000 in 11 months. And Elevated, you know, because he didn't make that money trading options, that's just from dividends. That was just from dividends. How much did he have in that one account? I think it was $111,000. $111,000 to get $48,000. Listen, he's my student. When we met up, which is about 5 years ago, when we met up, yeah, from dividends. When we met up 5 years ago, he knew nothing about the stock market. Nothing. Nothing. I taught him everything, including options trades. And his options account, ridiculous. And I helped him set up his business the proper way. Yeah. And and then those dividends aren't withdrawn and spent. No. Those dividends go back in and reinvested. And I always mention it, right? Discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency. Not a degree from Harvard in finance. No. You don't need that. And not only that, you can learn as you go. Another student of mine just tapped in and asked me if it was okay to take some of the classes that are in the brokerage that she has. By all means, go right ahead. My objective is not to be a mastermind or anything like that. It's not my objective. My objective is to expose people to something, a tool that they can access and that they can imitate the wealthy with and reap the benefits that the wealthy are reaping. Instead of complaining, instead of accusing wealthy people of being this, that, and the third, instead of doing all that, well, here it is. Here's one of the biggest tools that the wealthy use to acquire wealth, maintain wealth, expand their wealth. There it is. What do you have to do? Well, if you're in this channel right now, the easiest thing to do is to go in the description and tap on one of the links. That's it. Need help picking one? I can explain how each one will function. 3 of them are pretty much the same. That one, Acorns, is the simplest. It's set it and forget it. You're not going to get the same returns as the other 3, but it's a start. And it's a decent start at that. I understand people are afraid. People are afraid because it's their money. They work hard for money, and they're afraid because they hear all this news, war in Iran, oil prices going up, price of food going up, they got less money, so they're scared. That's understandable. So whatever money they have left, they don't want to lose it. They're afraid of losing it. Listen, anything having to do with business and investing is risk. There's risk involved. But there's so many other things in your life that are also risky. And you continue like it's nothing. Sometimes staying at the job that you're in is riskier than facing the truth and leaving and going to another position or another job. Corporations have traps to keep people within the corporation. They're called benefits. Benefits are designed to keep you latched on. But my buddy with the $48,000 in 11 months, he doesn't have a job. He owns his own business. And like I said, I helped him structure it properly so that he can get all the benefits associated with being a business owner, having the correct corporate structure in place. This guy takes a vacation 3 times a year now with his wife and his kids. Not staycations. I just spoke to him a week ago. He was in Europe with his family, with his wife and his kids. The Caribbean a few months prior. A cruise half a year ago. When he met me, he didn't know me all that well. He took a leap of faith. Because Elevator, you know how I get down. Yolanda, you know how I get down. And Lily, you know how I get down. I'm a complete clown. I troll everybody's channel. So this guy, when he met me, it was because of something another student of mine said. That student introduced me to him. Yeah, I'm a clown, but when it comes to money, serious business when it comes to money. That I don't play with. I do not play when it comes to money. Ain't no joking with me when it comes to money. And on previous lives, I'm pretty sure you've noticed, like when I do my Saturday Night Lives, I clown around like crazy. Now when I do my Whip It Out Wednesday, I don't, well, I guess you could say I clown, because I wear all that crazy ass fake jewelry. Yeah. Yeah, I wear all that crazy stuff, but it's to make a point. But as I present the content, I don't joke around. I don't joke around. And I love presenting this stuff on YouTube because I don't have to be following anybody to see if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. No. See, I've got my own things I have to deal with. I share knowledge with the hopes that I can help people go in a particular direction, maybe help develop a mindset. I don't get too specific now, only when I deal with my students. But other than that, I'm not on top of everybody making sure, hey, did you open up an account? Did you fund it? When are you going to do it? Oh, you got to do it. Because if you don't do it, oh my God, you do it? A week later, hey, did you do it? No, that's not my thing. When I was a broker, when you're a broker, you're basically a salesman. As a broker, during my orientation, they made it crystal clear. The rate of rejection is 98%. If a 98% rejection rate is too much for you, this line of work is not good for you. It's not good for you. And that's what it is. I did a lot of cold calling. Hi, my name is such and such. I'm with such and such a firm. And whatever it is that I used to say after that, I don't even remember what I used to say. Because these are people I didn't even know. It's cold calling. You don't know who these people are. This is your manager providing you with this list. And you got to make these calls. You got to go down the list. And you can't be so stuck on one customer that you only do 25% of the list. Nah, you got to go through that list. Hey, Stinky. So you gotta go through that list, and you gotta sell. You gotta sell the firm. You gotta get people over to the firm. Either get them to move their money from one firm to yours, or establish a new relationship with the firm. Whatever. 98% rejection rate. So if you got 100 names, open channels, yeah. So you got to do So if you go through 100 names, 98 people are going to reject your offer. Some will be rude. Some will just shut the phone on you. They'll just hang up on you. They heard that you're from such and such a firm, especially with my name. When they hear my name, forget it. They're hanging up. What the hell do you know about investing? They assume that right away. That's just how it goes. What? If you want that broker's license, you gotta endure that. You gotta stay. You gotta keep calling. The firm sponsors you. They provide you with the materials that you need to study to pass the test. But you can't take the test unless you're sponsored. You gotta go get fingerprinted. They do a crazy background check. You can't have a bad credit. You can't have any foreclosures. Nothing. You gotta be squeaky clean. And there you are. Man, I was reading the material every morning, every night. Before I go to bed, I would turn on a recording of myself reading the material for that day. I was doing everything possible to make sure I passed that test. When I took that test, just by looking at the first question, man, I just said, I'm just gonna go through it. Because the first question alone, and then the next few questions were just like the first question. Multiple choice, but every answer seemed to be right. Every answer. I said to myself, man, listen, I paid for this. But you gotta pay for it. I paid for it. And I'm just gonna go through it. If I fail, I fail. They got cameras everywhere. Everywhere. Go to the bathroom, you gotta turn in whatever it was. I forget what it was that you have to turn in. You have to turn into the examiner. Bathroom, come back, go to the computer station. I'm telling you right now, man. And most of those questions, it's like all the answers were right. Like, how the hell am I going to pass this thing? Well, there were some that you could use the process of elimination, because it's and at the end of that exam, I was exhausted. I was done. I was glad it was over. I had to take all 6 hours I was ready to beg for more hours so that I didn't have to move as fast as I did on that exam. I was ready to beg for extra time. But and there was this one part, the part where they asked questions about calls and puts and all that other good stuff. That thing gave me a headache. And you had to know laws, and you had to know. Oh my God. How the Securities and Exchange Commission got created, who's FINRA, CIPIC, all this. Oh my God. My Lord. And I turned in whatever I needed to turn in, because basically they identify you by whatever computer station you're at. And they told you whether you passed or failed right there. My head was down. I just wanted to go home. I was ready to just go to my car, sit down, and just cry. Straight up cry. And there it was. Congratulations, you passed. What? I couldn't believe I passed. I couldn't believe I passed. I could not believe I passed. I was like, what? Are you sure? Yes. They read off my name. Is that you? Yeah, that's me. Passed. I didn't care what the score was. If you pass with a 65 and I pass with a 66, or if I pass with a 65, I don't care. I passed. That was traumatic. That was traumatic. And I was so grateful to the examiner. And I was one of the last few people there. There were a bunch of other people. They must have been geniuses or something. They ate that exam. I don't know if they passed it. You can't hear. You're inside an area full of computer stations. You can't really hear what's going on. Well, at least not where I was seated. Man, I was walking out of that building into the parking lot toward my car like a zombie. I could not believe I passed that. I'm serious. Every answer looked like the correct answer. Whoa! Yeah, that was rough. And at one point, I went back to school, invested $42,000 so I could enhance my trading abilities. And what do you call it? That's when I really started blowing up financially. And at that point, I didn't feel the need to continue as a broker, so I didn't even bother to renew my license, which is crazy after all I went through to get it. But with my newly found knowledge, I do everything for myself. So now, get on YouTube, try to encourage people to get involved in the stock market. Not to the degree where I am. We don't have to get involved to that degree. Of course, I find people that are curious and want to learn. It's not a problem. I just need to make sure that they understand that when they enter this new realm that I'm going to teach them, they really have to have self-control, self-discipline. It's very easy to allow your greed to get the best of you. If you do that, you will be losing. You'll destroy your account. Yep. What's today, by the way? Say Tuesday? I don't even know. Market's going to close in about 20 minutes. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Look, how long? An hour. Okay. I think this is enough. So what I want you guys to do is, I want you guys to stay fresh and keep it profitable. Once you get in the stock market, all these distractions, they only mean opportunities for you. That's all it means. You're going to watch your account. Beautiful thing. So stay fresh and keep it profitable, y'all. I'll see you guys in the next live. Peace.